So the first deck, what are seeds of life? That's the subtitle here. And there's going to be a description of, it's a classic shape from sacred geometry, and this is the name that we give it in English, is a seeds of life. This particular kind of shape, which is classically 6 circles that revolve around the same point and connect through a 7th circle,
which I'm thinking of as like our teams and our interpersonal groups, which again is another system. It's kind of like a Venn diagram that represents common ground, shared purpose, multiple individuals finding meaningful connection to each other. It's forming a whole that's greater than the sum of their parts. And we don't overlap completely, right? We bring our diversity. When we come together, we can be invited to bring our whole selves. And this invites our difference and diversity, which are important for our innovation.
There are seeds within the seeds of life, and that's what's depicted here. So you can have even the self is a seed of life.
We sit at the center of our own Venn diagram of all the different cultures that we're a part of, whatever number of cultures those are, that they each have their own, like our families, our work teams, our social groups, all have their own norms and values and rituals, and we're flowing in and out of these cultures throughout the day. So we're each a unique seed of plurality, and we're experiencing multiple places of belonging and living multicultural lives. Our whole selves integrate multiple cultures, and multicultural spaces integrate our whole selves.
And this is the way it's fractal. A duo is a seed. 3 people working together is a seed. You can have a whole congregation working together on an objective as a seed. So these are seeds of life, clusters and teams, emerging in networks, and that's another deck. This is the level of the nested system that is the personal and interpersonal, the seeds of life, because like we said, the self as a group is a seed of life. So the self is a seed, the interpersonal are seeds, and it's this place of our common ground.
So here's a question I have for you all. What does it mean to be regenerative in teams? And what does it mean, how does it land for you and convey regeneration if we think of our teams or our families as seeds of life? What does that open up in terms of possibilities if we think of our small teams as seeds of life?
I just want to tell you how delighted I am to see this, because as you can see, I just put in the chat that I used that graphic at the start of the introduction to regenerative governance. And in a little commentary underneath, it was about how, how we have the classics that have Venn diagrams in management, but in this case, it is this beautiful symmetry and overlap and nurturing of life energy in an ordered way and all that. So I'm just thrilled to see that you're using it. So I love it. Thanks.
Yeah, it's very evocative.
This is so interesting. My daughter and I, in fact, we're just doing a book launch event today, and we wrote a book about our experience with her eating disorder. And there's a chapter in our book called Venn diagram, which helped her see that she was not the eating disorder. Like there weren't actually spaces that overlapped, but we wrote it together because of this. We're a duo, and we wrote to we're missing her brother in this story. We're missing her dad in this story. So for me, this is this, I'm going to use this because it explains how, all of our relationships with our pastor, with our counselors, with our, how everything flows in. So this is awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Catherine's hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention what I put in the chat, because I've been noodling over the difference in relationship between networks and ecologies. Because and they're the same and different at the same time, and how to express that. And this really does that for me. That's there's something about the richness of the ecology, the flower, the pattern that all of it makes, that does not get captured in networks, even though there's network is obviously there. And I like that, to be able to show that difference, because it's in my head, but it's hard to articulate. I mean, when you say the two words, you kind of get a feeling for it. There, for me at least, there's a sense of inclusion with ecologies that I don't get with networks. And yet networks are inherent in ecologies. You can't separate the two. But there's just a difference that I feel really needs to be articulated. So thanks.